Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. We see flies buzzing around all the time, right? But did you know a fly can smell food from over 750 yards away? That's like smelling freshly baked cookies from like 7 football fields away. Can you even imagine? Flies can be super annoying, I get it. But there's more to these little guys than meets the eye. They're actually pretty amazing creatures when you think about it. For starters, did you know there are over 100,000 different species of flies? That's way more types of flies than there are types of mammals, and each one has its own quirky little personality, just like us. So next time you see a fly buzzing around your picnic basket, remember, they're more than just pests. They're little wonders of nature with some pretty incredible abilities. Stick around and I'll tell you more. Now let's talk about the birds and the bees, and the flies. Okay, maybe not in the same way, but flies have a pretty fascinating life cycle too. It all starts with an egg, of course. A female fly can lay hundreds of eggs in her lifetime, usually on things like rotting food. These tiny eggs hatch into little worm-like creatures called maggots. You've probably seen them before. Not exactly the cutest, right? But don't judge a book by its cover. These little guys have a big job to do. Maggots are like nature's tiny recycling machines. They eat and eat, breaking down all sorts of decaying matter. After a while, they transform into pupae, kind of like a cocoon. And finally, out pops a brand new fly, ready to start the cycle all over again. It's like a miniature metamorphosis right here on Earth. Nature is so cool. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Ellen, flies are gross. They land on poop. And yeah, that's true. But believe it or not, flies actually play a really important role in our ecosystem. For example, did you know that flies help pollinate plants? Just like bees and butterflies, flies transfer pollen from one flower to another. That helps the plants reproduce and make more beautiful flowers. And remember those maggots we talked about? Well, they're not just eating machines. They also help break down dead plants and animals, which returns nutrients to the soil. It's like nature's own composting system. So, even though flies can be annoying, they're actually really important for keeping our planet healthy. We need them. Who knew? Flies, the ultimate foodies. All right, time for a fun fact. Have you ever wondered how flies taste their food? Well, get this. They taste with their feet. Isn't that wild? You see, flies have taste receptors all over their tiny little feet. So when they land on something, they instantly know if it's good to eat. It's like having your tongue on your feet. Can you imagine walking around and tasting everything with your toes? Oh, but hey, it works for them. Flies aren't picky eaters, that's for sure. They'll eat just about anything, fruits, vegetables, meat, sugary drinks, you name it. If it's edible, a fly will probably try it. And they don't even need to use utensils. A scary thought. Okay, ready for one last fly fact? This one's a little creepy, so brace yourselves. Did you know that flies can carry over 2 million bacteria on their bodies at once? That's right, 2 million. And they can spread those germs to our food, our homes, and even to us. See, when a fly lands on something dirty, like garbage or, well, those germs stick to their bodies. Then when the fly lands on something else, like your lunch, it can transfer those germs. And that's how we can get sick. So while flies might be fascinating creatures, it's important to keep them away from our food and our homes. Wash your hands, cover your food, and maybe invest in a good fly swatter. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Be kind to one another, and try not to think about flies landing on your food. Until next time.